Welcome back to the channel. I guess it's me in the foreground and something fuzzy in the background, but from last week's video, I guess you guys got a taste of what we're gonna do. So lots of things have changed on the channel. Stick around the video and I'll tell you all about it. Stay tuned. Hey, thanks for stopping by, thanks for jumping in. So, I'll jump back just to give everybody a recap. Everybody knows what's been going on with my job. For almost 3 years now, we've been kind of not doing much because of COVID and a few other things. And so now we're getting back on the roll. Well, we had made a bunch of changes on the video. We went from the JL because of engine problems to the Gladiator that had diesel engine problems, from the Gladiator onto the Raptor. And the Raptor's great, it's been good. The one thing is it's just not kind of touching all bases. And so, albeit it is an absolutely insane monster, my vision is ever changing. And when I very first started this years ago, I still had a vision of what I thought. And I think that now this is gonna be what brings it full circle. And just so you know, we're affectionately adding a new team member. Let me introduce you guys to Brock Landers. So, what we have here is a 2022 Bronco Badlands Sasquatch. It's got the Lux package. It has the Sasquatch package, which comes with 35s. A little bit of lift over the standard Bronco. I did specifically order it with a 2.7 liter V6, and I also made sure that it had the 4.7 gears. I tell you all guys all the time, when you're looking for a vehicle, make sure that if you're gonna buy it, try to get what you need first. So it took forever, but we got it. And it's exactly what I wanted. This is the same color that I wanted in the Gladiator, but I could never get it. I could never make that happen. And I ended up making it happen on the Bronco. And a lot of reasons went into why I went with the Bronco, and everybody's gonna say, oh, well, you do more of this and more of that, and IFS is gonna hold you back a little bit. Well, that's not necessarily true. And if you know much about off-roading, you'll know that, King of the Hammers and Baja and stuff like that is owned by IFS suspension, and that's what's on this. And we are gonna make some changes to it to kind of make it fit more of what we do. But the package altogether is exactly the next generation of off-roader type ability that anybody offers. And the reason why I say that is because this Bronco comes factory with front and rear lockers, an automatic sway bar disconnect, sway bar disconnect, and it's got some skid plate work to it. And you'll say, oh, well, that's what the JL has. It sure does. But I will tell you this. So I've had it for a short period of time. I didn't, let anybody on the channel know, because I wanted to kind of go through it and see what it was about. And let me tell you something. The function of the electronics is night and day over the Jeep. Night and day. I can go in and out of lockers as much as I want, as fast as I want. Same thing with the sway bar. I can unlock it under load. I can be in a bad situation and go, oh, I don't need to let this go. Or I can lock it up in situations where, hey, I'm leaning too far. I'll hit that sucker and lock it. And so I've done a little bit of wheeling with it. I've taken it out to a place and done some wheeling with it. And it's really, really good, guys. It's really, really stable. And it feels really good. Are there places to improve? Sure. But for the overall package, I've had it for several thousand miles now, and I'll tell you this, it's more of a joy to drive than the Jeep. The engine and transmission are way better than the Jeep and or Gladiator. And this is all stock because you can't really consider it against the Gladiator because the Trail Slayer was a beast of a Gladiator. And if you don't know those videos, you can go down and look in some of the folders, and there's actual separate videos and folders for the JL or for the Gladiator or whatever. But anyway, it was a monster. That was after it was deleted and all kinds of stuff as a diesel. But being this stock package, this stock is incredible. It's better than the Jeep and the Gladiator could ever have wanted to be, ever, ever, ever. And I mean, that's the comfort of driving it. That's the ease of driving it. That's rolling off road and hitting your lockers and going right into something. The sway bar right into something. The function is just faster. It's more refined, and that's kind of what I was looking for. On top of that, it's a Ford factory. Obviously, I've got a Raptor. I've been driving Ford diesels since, and I mean every day, Ford diesels since 2008, I believe. And so I've had all the renditions, and so I'm used to being in a Ford, and I'm used to the four-wheel drives, and I take an F350 off-road all day, every day, Monday through Friday. This is not just a hobby for me. I end up doing. I work on my technique in driving and stuff like that on my trucks during the week, and pull big trailers up to big tower sites all on mountains and stuff. So I've kind of earned a little bit of comfort, and I just wasn't getting out of the Jeep. It was, I'm not a big guy. I'm about 5'9" and about 220. Well, I'm 230 right now, so. It was uncomfortable. I felt uncomfortable in that Jeep all the time. And most of the guys that go with me, Richard, my very good friend, that's with me on just about every trip, before he got his own vehicle, he was going with me, and he's 6'2" and 240. And we looked like two fat kids stuffed in a matchbox when we were inside of that Gladiator. And it's just, not real comfortable. And so the comfort on this wins all day. The seats are better. The seating position is better. And just the overall comfort is better. Now, this is not a bashing Jeeps, period. I love my JL, and I absolutely love my Gladiator. I think this Bronco is just refined. With that being said, let's jump into what we're gonna do. Okay, so you guys know I've been talking about what it does and what it has and such like that. And if you have any more questions and comments about what it does, you can talk about it in the comments, and I'll explain to you everything that's got. But like I said, it's got the Lux package, it's got the LED light group, it's got the Sasquatch package, it has the big V6, it's got the 4.7 gears in it. Also, it's got the modular bumper in front. And there's a lot of reasons why, and because I want to do this a little differently than I've done them all. So I'm not going to build a lot of the stuff that I built previously for the Jeeps and stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and leave the bumper. I'm gonna use it. Now, I am gonna do a hidden winch solution to get a winch up there. I'm also gonna do some lights in the fog pockets. But for the most part, it's not gonna be a huge accessory build like that in that fashion. Now, I have decided about going on a high light bar because I feel like if you look back in the 80s, and 90s and 70s and look at these style Broncos and the way they looked, it's kind of the heritage. The heritage is more lights and such. So I will be doing a highlight. I don't know the brand yet. I haven't really figured that out. There's a lot of good products out there. You guys comment below. I've messed with a Heritage Studios in the past. I've had some good dealings with them. I've also messed with Baja Designs in the past, good dealings with them. I like Co-Lite. Co-LED is a smaller brand, and we'll call it a bargain brand, but I'm telling you, it's good stuff. Like, that's what's on the Raptor, and it works phenomenally. And matter of fact, it outperformed my ambers are in a different color range than the ambers that come on a Baja Designs light. And when we were in that bad storm in Arkansas and the Ozarks, that orm was such a warmer or a better yellow that it did a better job of cutting through the fog than the actual ambers from Baja Designs did. And partly that was output power and partly that was color. So don't shake your head at Co-Lite until you've got them and tried them. They're really a good brand. Moving on, so I'm still looking at KC highlights, I'm still looking at Baja Design, still looking at Heretic, Rigid, and then who else? DV8. they've got a lighting product called the Elite product line. And now it's their high power line. And so if you haven't looked at that, you might want to go check it out. It's just pods and it's just a few bars because they only do it in a small fashion. It's their Elite system, and that stuff actually is pretty ridiculous as far as the output. Moving on. We're gonna do an air up, air down system. We're gonna do a manifold and probably the twin air ARB. And the reason why that is because space is gonna be limited on this, and I don't wanna do a lot of overbuild. So I want things to fit in the spaces we have. So we're gonna do a twin ARB system, and we're gonna do a manifold system where there's a port at every tire, and it can control air up and air down. So when I want it to go down, I can just set the dial and hit the button, and it'll let out until the dial creases and the pressure release system stops at 20 pounds or 8 pounds or whatever I set it, and it's done. So that'll be ARB and up-down air systems, just so you know. We are gonna run the factory bead locks. I purposely got factory bead locks because what other manufacturer makes a factory bead lock? Not one. So these are factory bead lock. Currently they just have the Glamour ring, but we will be ordering them. It'll be the same thing, I'll show you guys now, that we run right there. That's a factory Ford bead lock. So if you look at that bad boy, it's got a big healthy aluminum ring on a stock rim. But again, from the factory, they designed it to handle what we're gonna be doing. So I'll do the same. So when I get to this guy, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna run the factory bead lock. Now I'm not saying I won't do something with the rims. Comment below, because I really need y'all's help on this one. I really wanna hear what you guys wanna say and what you think and what you have questions about. Because I'll tell you this, I've got a few miles on this truck and I wheeled it already and I was super impressed. So we'll show some more of that video soon. Suspension. We will be doing something suspension. We're gonna do something a little different with this. We're not just gonna do a lift. We're not gonna do a spacer lift. We're gonna do some extended stuff. And the reason being is because if anybody's wheeled with me in the past, you'll see that I guess I'll preface it with I raced motorcycles for a long time. And so that's how I do my line choice. That's how I really like to run through tracks and trails, unless it's a slow crawl situation. Other than that, I'm trying to pick my lines based on how I would have done it on two wheels, because that's gonna be the fastest way. Same thing with my vehicles. I don't wanna be hampered because now I'm too old to race motocross, so I've gotta be hampered by my vehicle because you have to be easier on it. So I'm gonna set the suspension up to be more like the Raptor, where I can be very, very aggressive against it while we're on the trails to have a really good time. And that's how I wheel. So people that wheel with me in the past will hands down tell you, oh my gosh, this guy, hey, I really put the pedal down because that's what's fun for me. Still overlanding, still enjoying everything. I am not destroying things, I promise you guys. I'm not tearing things up. I'm not making new trails. I'm staying within a trail, but I'm just trying to make my line precision picking better because I want to move faster through the obstacles. So we're gonna set this up like that. Okay. So the elephant in the room is, what will we do with this guy? We're gonna keep him for a while anyway. I don't see why I would let that guy go. It's a 6.2 Gen 1 Raptor that I Whipple supercharged here in this shop by myself with my own hands. And I just love it. So it's not going anywhere yet. What about the trailer? So I don't know about the trailer. I still have to figure out that. And the reason why I say that is because it's functioning as a good attribute to what we're doing now. That's what it's doing. Its function for us now is like a base camp. So it's functioning as a base camp now. I'm not really using it as a travel multiple places vehicle, because generally when I'm taking it now, I'm taking it, we're setting it up somewhere, and we're just running trails from there. And every day returning back to there. I don't know that I want to continue doing that. Now I want to keep it as an option, and it's still an option now. I mean, think about it. I've got a generator with extra fuel on there for it. It's got its own max tracks. It's got its own 270 awning. It's got another awning on the backside. It's got hot and cold water. It's got heating in it. It's got heating, air conditioning. It's got a diesel heater. I've got a 32-inch TV. It's got a kitchen. I don't see why you would get rid of something like that. But as I see myself moving forward, what I want to do is more long-range trips like we did in the last series, going up to Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Utah, Colorado, and then back to Texas. That's what I want to. I want to start doing more of that, and so that's the next step for this guy. I think. I think the only way to go is to be in a single vehicle and have all the attributes of what you're doing in that vehicle. And so I think what I'm going to do is do the Ursa Minor, and the reason being is, from inside that thing, if anything were ever to happen, I could hop down and get in that truck and go somewhere, right? On top of that, it's so fast. It's set up, takedown time is so fast. It's built onto the vehicle. I don't have an external piece of gear that I'm having to set up or take down, or basically have to navigate with, like the trailer. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the Ursa Minor. I have a very good friend. You need to go check him out and go follow him. His name is Justin with Overland Productions, and he's got the greatest rig. Chris Shantz does too. They both got Jeeps and they have the Ursa Minors on them, and I think it's the coolest thing you could ever do, because quick travel and travel by myself is what I do a lot. There's nothing else that's better, other than basically maybe sleeping in your Suburban or sleeping in the Jeep itself. So I think that's what I plan to do. I think I'm gonna do the Ursa Minor. We will eventually upgrade tires. We're gonna do a 37 on this guy. And like I said before, we're gonna do an extended travel system setup for the suspension, so it'll accommodate for the 37s. But I think 37s on this platform will be more than enough than I would ever need to do what I'm gonna do. Dreams of going full-time one of these days is in my future. And so I want this to be the final rig. I want this to be the final shakedown. Basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna prepare it for as if I was all of a sudden one day gonna just step away from everything else, sell it all, get in this big guy and just go. So that's how we'll have this thing set up. That's really it. I just wanted to catch you guys up. The next videos you'll see in these on this channel are our series, build series for this guy. So I've got a few months basically to get this thing ready, and I'm already stocking a bunch of piles. I will still be doing some fabrication videos for those who are asking. Matter of fact, the next fabrication video I'm gonna do is gonna be a solution to get rid of the Widowmaker jack. You can still carry it if you want to because you've got it, but I'm gonna give you an alternative that's safe, that your girlfriend can use, that your kids can use, that you can teach anybody to use over the phone without having to do anything. And it's just as capable, just as reliable, and 2,000% safer, okay? So that'll be the next fabrication video you guys will see. And it's super simple, guys. It's something that maybe you can't do it yourselves because you can't weld or you don't weld, but you can buy the components and take it to a fabrication shop and they can throw it together for no money. It's gonna be super cheap. So that'll be the next fabrication video. But other than that, you're gonna see me in the things that I'm gonna change on this. Now I will do a dislike video at some point. There's a few things that I do dislike. The stop start feature drives me bananas, just like it did the Jeeps and the Gladiator. The tops of the seats, they're great except for the headrest. It forces your neck forward all the time. That drives me crazy, so I've got them flipped and turned backwards, so I can't even use them. And then not having a readily available hard top. That was another issue, but that's okay. We're gonna go past that. It doesn't really matter because what we're gonna do is replace the entire top with an Ursa Minor. So I just wanted to kind of catch you guys up, let you see what I was doing, let you know what's going on with the channel. That guy will still be doing Baja trips. We'll still be doing stuff with him, but this is gonna be the future right here, right? And so let me know in the comments if you guys have any suggestions mods that I don't know any about, because I don't know which fold holders and iPod holders and dash mounts are the best for a Bronco. I don't know what lighting systems are the best for a Bronco, or what you had experience with, or what brackets are the best for roof mounts versus bumper mounts. Give me your winch opinions. You know, I've used name brands to budget brands, and they've all just been about the same, to be honest. So please do me a favor and do that. Also, all the new Bronco tent content watchers that are going to join this channel, go back and kind of watch a lot of the old videos and kind of see who we are on this channel and what we do and how we do things, and I think it'll give you a good appreciation for the people that do watch this channel and what we do and what we have to offer. That being said, everything that you have to comment about and question about, please add it in the comments below. And obviously, everybody knows me. I'll get back to you as fast as I can. It may be a few days, but I will always respond. That being said, we got a new goal. We hit 1,400 subscribers in our first year. So what I'd like to do, I'd like to hit 5,000 this year is what I'd like to do. With y'all's help, I can do that. You know, I'm not worried about you guys just jumping on my Patreon bandwagon to help me pay for all the stuff that I use for travel and building things. But definitely like and share the video and become a subscriber. That really helps me out, because I do try to put out useful content. And even my overlanding videos, I try to go into detail about why we chose roads, why we use a specific mapping software for certain things, what we try to keep in mind, and such like that. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you love the new member of the team, Brock Landis. See you next time.